What is going on, button pushers? Welcome to the channel. My name is David, and today we are going to be talking about 5 different tips to shooting in natural light, whether it's photo or video. These tips are going to help you have a better experience when you're editing, experience when you're shooting, and just overall make it a little bit easier for you. Now, these tips are all from my personal experience. You guys may have different experience with them, and that's absolutely okay. I just want to give you guys a few tips from my perspective on what I saw worked better than not.
ありがとうございました。
If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, and let me know in the comments below as we start this video if there are any tips that you have for anybody watching this video. Just comment it below, help them out. So the first tip I'm going to jump into is having everything under the same light. Now this can be in the sun or in the shade. I definitely recommend to go for one or the other, because if you have both, you can be casting weird shadows, whether the model has false lashes or something that are really big and can cast a shadow from anything else really. It could cast a weird shadow on the face. Of course, you can fix this with a reflector or anything else, but assuming that you're by yourself and you don't really have anybody assisting you and there's not much setup, it would be more advised to shoot in one setting. However, you can always shoot both for a more stylistic type of look if that's what you're aiming for. It isn't really a rule to shoot in one or the other. You can definitely use both, and it could be a specific look that you're going for. I've done it before, and a ton of people probably have also. From my experience, I like to expose for the highlights, so the background, the brighter parts of the photo. So if I'm shooting in the sun, it's going to be a lot easier, but if I'm shooting in the shade, the model's going to be very, very dark, and it really depends on what exactly you want in the shot itself. Do you really care about the background? Because if not, you can definitely expose for the subject and the shadows. Otherwise, I like to expose for the background, and I can always lift the shadows a bit when it comes to raw photos and raw video, but if I'm using like a JPEG or something else, it's a bit harder, so I might actually expose for the shadows there. If you're shooting photos, which you're probably shooting raw, hopefully you're shooting raw, definitely expose for the highlights, because it's a lot easier to bring back detail from the shadows if they're not too crushed than it is to bring back from the highlights, in my experience. Now, you might not think it, but angles definitely change how you shoot as well. So the lighting, if you're shooting from a top-down angle, so let's say your model is looking up at the sun, is definitely going to give it more light to the face than it would if you were shooting and the model was looking down, so like a lower angle shot. So I really like high angles. It's just my way of shooting. Of course, everybody has their preference. Low angles are really cool too, but it really all depends on that sun, especially in the natural light, and how it's going to affect the shadows on the face, the shadows on the body, any other shadows being casted. On top of that, camera positioning itself, not just the angle, but where you're taking pictures from. It could be against the sun, with the sun, or to the side of the sun, so you kind of have like a half and half. Honestly, 9 out of 10 times, I feel like the photos with the sun or to the side of the sun are a lot better than the ones against the sun. And of course, I've done a lot of photos against the sun for a more silhouette type vibe, and they definitely turn out really, really well. It goes for a really dark, more moody type of vibe with a good, backlit subject, which can be very good at times, but sometimes, most of the time when I'm coming back and editing these photos, it's just a lot of halation, lots of flare, so it really depends on the lens you're using, as well as, it's just very situational. So when it comes to that, shooting with the sun can be very good, as well as shooting with kind of like a half and half kind of thing, where sun is on one side of the subject and shade is on the other, which can also be a very stylistic look, because I know that I said in the very beginning, I was like, try to keep it one or the other, but again, it really depends on where the sun is, how the sun's hitting, because definitely during golden hour, it really doesn't matter where the sun is. It's just going to come out really, really good, very moody if you're editing it that way. Lastly, if you're shooting video, an ND filter. Cannot pass that up. An ND filter is going to help you so much, because if you're out in the sun, you're definitely going to have to stop down to like a 9.0 aperture and a 400 shutter speed. It's going to get really, really hectic, and you're not going to be able to get the look you want if you're shooting video in natural sunlight. It's very, very hard, and your camera can be capable of it, but you're going to give up a specific look that you're going to need. So again, guys, these are a few tips from my personal experience of shooting in natural light as a portrait photographer and a videographer, and I hope you guys could take a few tips of these with you to, improve a little bit of your natural light photo or video taking abilities. because I did have a lot of experience doing this. I never used to use lights at all, and I would just always use natural light, no reflectors or anything. But if you want to get a reflector, I highly recommend it. It's going to be really, really, really helpful when it comes to shooting in sun and getting some of those shadows away and lighting up the other side of the face. So reflectors are really good, but you might need someone else there to help you with that. Anyways, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Drop me a comment below. Let me know if there are any extra tips you guys would want the viewers to see, because I know there are a ton of other tips, and a lot of you definitely probably shoot in natural light. So if you guys have any personal experiences, let me know in the comments below. Let the viewers know. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Keep pushing buttons, guys, and I'll see you then. Peace.